This is the story of a writer who believed that the most valuable treasure a human being possesses is not gold, not diamonds, and not even land, but time itself. Arnold Bennett, a brilliant English novelist and philosopher born in 1867, saw something that most people around him never noticed, that life's greatest wealth slips away minute by minute, hidden in the quiet ticking of the clock. While the world around him chased success, money, and recognition, Bennett paused to ask a question that would change millions of lives. What are you really doing with your 24 hours? He watched men and women rushing to offices every morning, returning home at night exhausted, their days blending into one another like the pages of an unfinished book. He saw that people treated their free hours as leftovers, fragments of time to be killed instead of cherished, and that realization struck him deeply. What if, he wondered, the difference between a dull, weary life and a meaningful, fulfilled one wasn't luck or talent, but simply how we choose to spend our daily 24 hours. Out of this revelation came his timeless masterpiece, How to Live on 24 Hours a Day. Unlike other philosophical books filled with abstract theories, Bennett's ideas were practical, simple, and strikingly human. He didn't preach about quitting your job or chasing distant dreams. Instead, he taught ordinary people how to reclaim their time, to live with intention, reflection, and purpose within the very life they already had. He argued that each day is a small life in itself, a blank canvas renewed every sunrise. The power to change your destiny, he believed, lies not in some future miracle but in how you choose to live today. Through his words, Bennett urged his readers to wake up, not just from sleep, but from the numbness of routine. He whispered a challenge to the world. You are not short of time. You are short of awareness. That single idea turned his little book into a global phenomenon, inspiring generations of readers, from early 20th century workers to modern-day dreamers, to take control of their days and, in doing so, their lives. Arnold Bennett didn't just write about time. He redefined how humanity sees it. This book isn't just about saving time.
It teaches you how to create space for yourself in your everyday life, enrich your mind and soul, and make each day new and meaningful.
Imagine you have the same 24 hours a day as the world's most successful people. The only difference is how you live them. That's why this video is for you. If you too want change in your life, if you too feel that time is short, if you too feel that there's nothing left for you after work, then this video will show you a way to create a new world in those same old 24 hours. In this video, we'll explain each chapter of this book with stories and examples so that you don't just listen, but feel that you too can do it. So get ready, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn how, without quitting your job, without breaking your routine, you can create a new life by living the 24 hours of every day. Chapter 1. The Daily Miracle. Every morning when you open your eyes, everything seems the same work, the same path, the same responsibilities. But Arnold Bennett says that's the biggest illusion. In fact, every morning brings a miracle, a new 24-hour miracle. Imagine 24 gold coins being put into your pocket every day. You can't save them. You can't give them to anyone else. You can't save them for tomorrow. You can only spend today's 24 coins. This is the real bank of life, the bank of time. Whether you're rich or poor, a businessman or a laborer, everyone gets the same 24 hours. This is the world's greatest law of equality. That's why Bennett calls it the daily miracle. He says people save their money and spend it wisely, but they waste time as if it has no value. Returning home from work, scrolling on their mobile phones, having pointless conversations, pretending to be tired, and then the day ends. And the next morning, the same complaint. I don't have time for myself. Bennett breaks this thinking. He says you have time, you just don't recognize it. In this chapter, he makes you realize that you are reborn every day. No matter how tired, angry, or upset you were last night, with the rising of the sun, a new opportunity opens up for you. It's as if someone has opened a new account for you every day. And this is where self-improvement, studying, thinking, learning, and making time for your dreams begin. Bennett encourages his readers to imagine. Imagine a bank credits Rs. $24,000 to your account every morning, and if you don't spend it by evening, the amount becomes zero. Would you waste it? No, right? You would plan how to spend it. But people don't do that with time. The purpose of this chapter is to help you understand these 24 hours of time as more precious than money and use them consciously. Bennett also says, don't think that I have very little time. Think that I have 24 hours. Because when you start thinking this way, You begin to see your time as your right. This right comes from yourself, not from a boss or a job. Every 24 hours a day is a canvas for you to paint whatever you want. In this first chapter, the author isn't just making you aware. He's shaking your mind that time is more valuable than money. Until you experience this daily miracle, you'll never be able to find time. That's why he says first recognize this miracle. See each day as a new gift and then decide how to use it. Every morning, wake up and think, today I have 24 new hours. How will I live them? This thought will automatically transform your day, and it is the foundation of all the other lessons in this book. Chapter 2, The Desire to Improve, the Desire to be Better. Bennett says that every person has a desire to be better. It just needs to be awakened. Imagine if you have 24 hours a day, and you just let them pass without any planning or thinking. You'll just be living the same old life over and over again. But if you cultivate the desire to become a little better every day, to not waste your time, then those same 24 hours can become a miracle. Bennett says that most people suppress this desire. They think they'll just work and get tired. There's no time for study or self-improvement. But the truth is, if you keep thinking this way, this exhaustion and dissatisfaction will make every morning of your life colorless. So the first step is to cultivate the desire. He gives an example. Imagine two men with similar jobs, responsibilities, and routines. The first man thought it would just pass the time and he would take care of the rest later. The second man decided to read for 30 minutes every day, hoping to learn something new for himself. The result was that the first man's 24 hours were just spent. The second man used those same 24 hours to cultivate new knowledge and energy within himself. This is the difference in desire. Bennett also explains that this desire isn't just for your own benefit. By developing it, you can also benefit others. As you improve, your thinking changes, your decisions change, and your time becomes more valuable. In this chapter, he emphasizes that the greatest daily investment is investing in yourself. He says this isn't a big deal. Small habits, a little thinking, a little reading, or a little meditation can transform your life. But the most important thing is to have the desire for change. Without this desire, no book, no guru, no video can change your life. The first step in every 24 hours of every day is to cultivate the desire to change. When this desire is strong, you will move towards making every moment of your day meaningful, and this desire will lead you to the precautions described in the next chapter, planning and proper use of your time. Chapter 3, Precautions Before Beginning, Precautions Before Beginning. Bennett makes a very important point in this chapter. No change can be successful without preparation and understanding. Imagine if you start operating a new machine without understanding it. Will the machine either work or harm you? Time is the same. Bennett says that the first precaution is to correctly assess your day and time. Most people think they have no time, but when they carefully examine their day, they find that every day contains many free moments, small opportunities that they waste. For example, while traveling, while eating, while watching TV for a while, or while scrolling on the mobile phone, these small moments, if used in the right direction, can make a huge difference. The second precaution is to avoid excessive expectations. Bennett says that many people think, from tomorrow I'll study for 3 hours every day. I'll wake up early and do yoga. I'll change my entire life. But this is impossible without preparation and small steps. Therefore, one should always start with small, feasible, and consistent steps. If you start slowly, it becomes a habit, and over time, changes in your daily routine will occur automatically. The third and most important precaution is to prepare your mind and attention. Proper use of time isn't just about planning. Mental preparation is also essential. Bennett says that no matter how busy you are, if your mind is constantly distracted, your time will always be wasted. So first calm your mind. Sleep and think about how you really want to use your time. Bennett makes another interesting point in this chapter. Every person's capacity is different. Some can learn a lot by studying for an hour a day, while others can learn a lot in 3 hours. So, don't make unnecessary comparisons. Sleep and plan at your own level. These precautions will make your life organized, balanced, and productive. In short, before we can use our time effectively, it's crucial to analyze our day, determine small steps, and prepare our minds. These precautions are the very foundation upon which you can apply all the lessons in the rest of the book. Chapter 4, The Cause of the Trouble, the Root Cause of Problems. In this chapter, Bennett explains why most people fail to use their time effectively. Imagine you have 24 hours a day. Everyone has the same number of hours. Yet some people live successful, happy, and fulfilling lives, while others constantly feel tired, stressed, and unfulfilled. What's the reason for this? Bennett says our thoughts and habits. Bennett observed that people waste their time because they live mindlessly. They wake up in the morning, go to work, come home, watch TV, scroll through social media, and then go to sleep. Every day is the same. Time just keeps passing. These habits gradually make us feel like we don't have time. But the truth is, we do have time, but we're just not using it properly. He says that the second major reason is the illusion of busyness. Many people think, I work so much. I'm too busy. That's why I don't have time. But Bennett argues that true busyness isn't just about working, but about prioritizing and planning. If you work without planning, busyness only creates fatigue and stress. The third reason Bennett cites is a lack of developed thinking. People let their day pass by and never consider how this time could be used for knowledge, learning, and self-development. For example, a person spends their free time watching TV, whereas if they spent that time studying, thinking, writing, or learning a new skill, their day could be so valuable. Bennett also gives an interesting example in this chapter. Imagine two people working in the same office. The first person only works. Even on vacation, one person simply relaxes and wastes time all day. The other person spends that same time thinking, studying, and improving themselves. Years later, the first person lives the same mediocre life, while the second person achieves success, self-confidence, and self-improvement. He achieves more satisfaction. This difference is only because he understood the root cause of time, his habits and thinking. Bennett emphasizes that the main cause of problems is not that time is scarce, but that we have never truly understood its importance or learned to control it. This is why people fail to make the most of their day. This is the essence of this chapter. If you change your habits, your thinking, and become aware of time, you can transform your 24 hours into a miracle. Understand that the real problem is never a lack of time, but rather our uncontrolled habits and lack of awareness. Chapter 5, Tennis and the Immortal Soul. In this chapter, Bennett explains the deep connection between time and the soul. At first, you may be wondering what connection tennis and the soul could possibly have. Bennett uses this example to illustrate that just as focus, practice, and correct direction matter in playing tennis, similarly, in life, correct direction and use of time are crucial for the development of the soul and mind. Bennett says that most people live their lives from a purely material perspective, earning money, working, and managing a household. But the proper use of these 24 hours can lead us to an eternal soul. Just as a tennis player carefully considers each shot, making decisions based on their strengths and weaknesses. Similarly, humans should also consciously use their time to cultivate their soul and mind. He explains that if you spend your free time every day solely on entertainment, rest, or useless pursuits, you are merely nourishing the body, leaving the soul and mind hungry. The soul's hunger is what brings true happiness, peace, and contentment. And this hunger is only satisfied through thinking, reading, writing, new ideas, and introspection. Bennett gives an example. Suppose a person works all day, returns home, and simply watches TV. They feel tired. Time passes, but if the same person spends 30 minutes reading their favorite book, contemplating or meditating, their mind becomes refreshed and their soul becomes stronger, and he can work with even more energy the next day. This is Bennett's message. The proper use of time is essential for the soul and mind. He emphasizes that we should carve out time in our day, even small ones, for reflection and self-development. Like tennis shots, even small efforts can gradually lead to big changes. Just as you become adept at tennis through consistent practice, devoting time to continuous self-development and reflection brings lasting change to your life. The biggest message of this chapter is that time is not only for physical activities, but also for the development of the soul and mind. Only when you understand this will you be able to make every 24 hours of your life complete and meaningful. Therefore, Bennett says that just as tennis players play each shot thoughtfully, so too should we live every moment of our time thoughtfully. Chapter 6, Remember Human Nature. In this chapter, Bennett reminds us that understanding human nature is a crucial part of the proper use of time. Think about it. We often work on our habits and routines, but we forget that our own nature can be both our biggest challenge and our greatest support. Bennett says that most people fight against themselves, ignoring their desires and weaknesses. For example, we know we should read, think, meditate, but we often use laziness or busyness as excuses. This is human nature. We tend to crave convenience and comfort, and unless we understand this, we cannot use our time effectively. He explains that understanding human nature doesn't mean accepting our weaknesses. Rather, it means organizing our time and habits according to our nature. For example, if someone is more energetic in the morning, they should do important work in the morning. If someone can focus more at night, they should think or study in the evening. This is creating a strategy according to human nature. Bennett makes another important point: balance between discipline and natural instinct. If you completely suppress your nature, you will quickly tire and give up. If you simply follow your instincts, important tasks will be left behind. Therefore, Bennett argues that proper time management is possible only when you understand your nature and use it to your advantage. For example, consider someone who wants to wake up early to study, but has a habit of staying up late. If they understand their nature and gradually change their routine, such as going to bed a little earlier and waking up a little earlier, they will be able to use their time effectively. Understanding human nature thus becomes the foundation of time management. This is the essence of this chapter. Know your nature. Understand your habits and organize every moment of time accordingly. When you understand your strengths and weaknesses, you will be able to fully utilize your 24 hours for yourself and your development. From the chapter Controlling the Mind, Bennett explains the key secret to the proper use of time: controlling your mind. Imagine you have 24 hours every day, but if your mind is caught up in distracted, frantic thoughts, you won't be able to use it effectively no matter how much time you have. Bennett says that the mind is the most powerful and challenging part of your body. It can take you to great heights or waste time. For example, if you sit down to study, but your mind repeatedly wanders to social media posts, gossip, or useless thoughts, a 2-hour plan ends in just half an hour. This is why the first step to time management is to master your mind. He explains that controlling your mind doesn't require great strength, but rather constant practice and awareness. As you spend a little time each day meditating, thinking, or planning, your mind gradually becomes focused. Bennett explains it like a sport. Just as in tennis, you need to concentrate on every shot. So too, in life, your mind must be focused on every task. Bennett gives an example. Suppose 2 people sit down to work at the same time. The first person repeatedly gets distracted, gets bogged down in trivial tasks, and eventually gives up, exhausted. The second person spends 10 to 15 minutes calming their mind. He concentrates and then begins to work. The result is that the first person wastes time. The second person achieves more and better results in the same time. He emphasizes that training the mind begins first with mindfulness and awareness. When you understand which thoughts are important and which are unnecessary, you will be able to make every moment of your day meaningful. And this skill will prepare you for the reflective mood and introspection described in the next chapter. The biggest message of this chapter is that if you can control your mind, you can control your time. Time and mind always go hand in hand, and when your mind is focused, you will not just be passing 24 hours, but living them to the fullest. Chapter on the reflective mood, a thoughtful state of mind. In this chapter, Bennett teaches us about a very deep and essential habit, the habit of thinking and introspection. Think about how quickly we spend our days. Work, responsibilities, home, phone, social media, and often without even realizing what we actually do. What did you learn or whether you used your time well? Bennett says that the greatest strength in life is being reflective. When you spend a few moments each day sitting quietly and reflecting on your work, your experiences, and your goals, your mind becomes clear. Your priorities become clear, and your direction is set. This isn't magic. It's just a simple habit that can change your life. He explains that a reflective mood doesn't mean you just sit and think. It means positive and organized thinking. For example, you can sit for 15 to 20 minutes a day and reflect on what you did well today, what tasks were time-consuming, and how you can better plan for tomorrow. This process gives you control over your time, your thoughts, and your actions. Bennett explains this with a simple yet effective example. Suppose you're busy with daily chores and feel exhausted at the end of each day. If you just rush into the next day without thinking, that day will steal your time. But if you sit in a reflective mood for a short while, you will understand the value of your day, improve your habits, and plan to improve your next day. He emphasizes that this habit is the foundation of self-improvement and growth. By taking a moment of reflection and self-evaluation each day, your mind becomes more focused, your time more valuable, and your life more meaningful. This is not only a habit for self-improvement, but also a path to success and satisfaction. This is the essence of this chapter. Develop a habit of daily reflection and introspection. This habit will help you understand the value of your time, prioritize your tasks, and make the 24 hours of each day fully meaningful. When you adopt a reflective mood, you will not only be living every moment of your life, but will be living it with understanding and improvement. Chapter 9. Interest in the Arts. Interest in the Arts. In this chapter, Bennett introduces us to a very important aspect: interest in art and creativity. Bennett believes that the proper use of time should not be limited to work and responsibilities. It should also be used to nourish your mind and soul. Bennett explains that when we're caught up in work and responsibilities, our thinking, imagination, and creativity slowly die. This is why life can become boring and monotonous. Therefore, it's important to devote some time each day to art, music, literature, or any other creative activity. This not only refreshes your mind, but also gives you new perspectives and new ideas. He gives an example. Imagine two people. The first person spends their entire day busy with work and busyness. They never read a book, never show interest in music or art. The second person spends 20 to 30 minutes in the morning or evening reading art, reading books, music, or writing. Years later, the first person feels tired and bored, while the second person feels mentally refreshed, energized, and satisfied. This is the effect of an interest in art. Bennett emphasizes that devoting time to art is not a luxury. It's an active investment, an investment in your mind and soul. Whether it is listening to music, painting, reading poetry, or attending a theater or play, they reshape our thoughts. And when your mind is active, creative, and excited, you become more efficient and productive in your other tasks as well. He also explains that art is not just entertainment. It's a tool for self-development. It changes your perspective, broadens your thinking, and makes you more aware of your routine and time. In a way, it's the fuel that nourishes your soul. This is the essence of this chapter. Cultivate an interest in art and creative activities. Set aside some time each day to do something that simply nourishes your mind, imagination, and soul. When you embrace this, not only will your life become more colorful and satisfying, but your 24 hours will also become more valuable and meaningful. Chapter 10. Nothing in life is hum. Nothing in life is monotonous. Often people view their daily routine, their work, and their responsibilities as a burden or a boring day. Getting up in the morning, going to the office, working, and returning home all seem monotonous and tedious. But Bennett says this thinking is wrong. He explains that every moment of life holds opportunities and learning. When we view every task as merely a routine, it feels boring. But if we approach everyday tasks with focus, thought, and a creative approach, even that task becomes exciting, meaningful, and inspiring. Bennett gives an example. Imagine someone waking up in the morning and making tea. If they think of it as mere work, it's just a routine. But if they think, I'm doing this small task with complete devotion and attention, I see it as an opportunity to learn and improve. Then that very task becomes a practice, a meditation, and an art. He emphasizes that monotony exists only in our perspective. If you begin to see new discoveries, learnings, or experiences in every task, your 24 hours become fully alive and valuable. Every small task, whether it's office work or household chores, can become a part of the proper use of your mind, soul, and time. Bennett says that no moment in life is wasted. Every day is an opportunity and a gift. It's our responsibility to recognize it and utilize it wisely, and this thinking helps us make every day meaningful. When you understand this, you begin to see color, purpose, and joy in every task and moment of life. This is the biggest message of this chapter. Nothing is dull. Every moment holds opportunity. Every task and every experience of every day holds a chance to learn and improve. All you need to do is recognize it and embrace it. And this thinking can completely transform your time, your habits, and your life. Conclusion. So friends, today we thoroughly explored each chapter of Arnold Bennett's book, How to Live on 24 Hours a Day. We learned how precious our 24 hours are and how we can use them to improve our soul, mind, and life, instead of wasting them solely on work and responsibilities. We saw that the daily miracle means every morning is a new opportunity, every day a gift. We learned that desire to improve is the greatest investment of time. Precautions before beginning teaches us that change isn't possible without preparation and thought. And the cause of the trouble reveals that the real problem isn't a lack of time, but rather our habits and thinking. We then learned that just as tennis and the immortal soul require practice and meditation, nurturing our mind and spirit should also be a part of our time. Remember, human nature explains the importance of planning and maintaining balance according to our nature and habits. Controlling the mind and the reflective mood show us that without mind control and introspection, we can't make the most of our 24 hours. Finally, interest in the arts and nothing in life is us teach us that nothing in life is boring. Every moment offers an opportunity to learn and enjoy. If we spend our days stuck in responsibilities and work, time flies by. But if we live every moment of every day thoughtfully and meaningfully, those same 24 hours can become miracles for us. Friends, the question now is, do you just want to pass your 24 hours, or do you want to make them life-changing? The biggest lesson of this book is that time is in our hands, and by using it wisely, we can completely transform our lives. So, start doing this today. Recognize the 24 hours of each day, sleep, plan, improve yourself, learn, pursue art, and nourish your mind and soul. Remember, every day is a new gift for you. Don't let it go to waste. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can easily access more motivational and engaging book summaries. Comment below and let us know which book summary you'd like to see in the next video. Remember, time is your greatest treasure, and living it wisely is true success. Thank you.